On this episode of DockSide TV, we're going to be targeting largemouth bass. We're going to run into some freight train sized redfish, and we're going to even catch some nice school trout in the marshes off Lake Pontchartrain. Stay tuned for this episode of DockSide TV.
Back at us, but what do we want? Seems so insignificant, but no one really knows what's going on. Don't understand this love. It's a blast my flesh. It's insanity. It's insanity.
That was a nice fish right there. Good 2-pound bass. So what we're doing starting the morning off here, we're throwing the White Lightning Matrix Crawl on a 1/4 ounce. That's our 1/4 ounce weedless, like swim bait hook that we have on matrixshad.com. And we're just bomb casting this crawl, and you can see how grassy it is. And we're just tickling the top of that grass, keeping that crawl right over it. And I mean, these bass are just mugging it this morning. Now what we're going to do a little bit later as the day progresses is we're fishing this big open bay right now, and it's probably 1.5 feet on average across the whole thing. And as the day progresses, we're going to try some of the feeder bayous that feed this that feed this bay. And those bayous are going to be a little bit deeper. And when we go to deeper canals, we usually go to a 5/16 or 3/8 ounce open face jig head and throw the Matrix Shad, because it's not going to have as much grass. Right here, the grass is so thick, we have to use this weedless hook, swim bait style. If not, we'll just be catching grass the whole time. Let me show you. I'm going to cast it right down the boat. Look at that lure coming. You can run it almost like a top water, the Matrix Crawl. Here's a good little shot of it. You can, when the grass is light, I'm running it under a little bit. But when the grass is heavy, I'm keeping it up high, almost working it like a top water frog. Really effective. And the reason I'm on this platform is because every once in a while I'll see a big stop sign looking redfish show its face in this crystal clear water, and I can see him, and I'll pitch this crawl right in front of him and light him up. I like to use this White Lightning because I can see it very well, and a lot of my strikes I can tell I'm hit because I see the lure disappear. A lot of these, there he is, another bass. Nice little 12-incher. Let him go for another day on that White Lightning right there. And look, if it's real grassy, you can text bow it or you bury that hook. And if you don't want to bury it, you can leave it open. It hides it enough, but you definitely want to use this style when you're fishing this thick grass like this. It's funny too, like I can see so well right now in this water. So if the redfish show up pretty good, I see them. But the bass, man, as many bass are in here, and I've only counted 2 or 3, they just do such a good job camouflaging themselves. So you gotta blind cast at them. You wanna make long casts. We're using the 17-pound Matrix line, Shimano. Cast it as far as we can. The most simple retrieve there is, straight reeling. Whenever you have a lot of vegetation like this, doesn't really matter if you're fishing close to the bank or out in the middle, because the vegetation is, you know, they are going to use that for hiding out. It's going to hold bait fish, so on and so forth. If you're ever in a pond or a shoreline that doesn't have much vegetation, 9 out of 10 times you're going to want to stay close to the bank. But when you have this thick stuff, it could be anywhere. You can see your hard grass mats versus your not so hard. Right now it's pretty mellow. And then if you look out in the distance, you can kind of see how it's slick looking. Out in the distance, that's slick. That's not slick water. That is grass coming up to the surface. This is a big boy. Coming down this cove right here. Got the sun nice and high. We already got our limit of bass, so we're not even blind casting anymore. This big bad dude here was just floating away right off the shoreline. It's a big boy here. Fished that matrix crawl right in front of his nose. The first time he chased it, and then he lost vision of it. Throw it back in there a little bit closer to his nose, made a little bit better cast, and then he couldn't resist it. This is a Mongolian. Woohoo! Matrix crawl. Meets Big Papa Bear. I'm gonna get back on the platform and look for another one. On this platform, even though we're really bass fishing, it's for when I see a red, you know, I'm bomb casting this lure, and when I see a redfish come down the bank, I could sight fish him like I did right here. Look at that, he just spit up a cockahoe. See that cockahoe? That is no doubt a cockahoe minnow. Greedy little sucker. Cockahoe coming out his mouth, and a white lightning matrix crawl in his jaw. Get this red in right here. Oh, nice redfish. That's why we like to stand up on the ladder in this crystal clean water. We're bomb casting, looking for bass, and then when we see a redfish come by the boat, I can pitch that matrix crawl right on his nose because I'm high up on this platform. See him, I saw this one floating from 10 yards away at least. Waited for him to get close, pitched on his nose. He gobbled up that matrix crawl. Nice trout. Again, another, oh, I missed him. But what we're doing, as you could see earlier, we were fishing a big grass flat, about 1.5 feet deep, and using a matrix crawl. Now, if you see behind us, we're in like a windy bayou that feeds that big lagoon. So when you find bayous, they're naturally going to be deeper. Got on a little school of trout here. I switched to a 3/8 ounce green hornet. I missed that trout. We got this one here. Pretty nice fish. And I'm just jigging the middle of this bayou right here. I'm getting tagged. Let's see how many are in here. We like to stand up on these platforms when we're in this real clean water all the time. You never know when you might see a redfish swim by the bank. And the higher you get, like you pull my pants down there. The higher you get in the boat, the better you can see. And these when you're fishing like this, it's good to always be up high, because you'll see the reds cruising the bank. That in the middle. I'm just walking this Matrix Shad dead in an interstate channel of grass right here. Catching bass and trout. And when you get like this, you want to just get on them quick, make a lot of casts. These little creeks like this aren't big, so you're gonna run over the fish pretty fast. Oh, just missed that one. That was a little 10-inch bass. Right in the channel again. There it is. That's a better fish. What we got here? Oh, missed him. That looked like a little rat red if I'm not mistaken. Jeez. We have missed some fish today. Got another nice trout here. Like I said, we're just working this bayou, switch to a 3/8 ounce. We're wearing out the trout and the small bass. Them bigger bass, we're in that big lagoon behind us. You can see that big bay or lagoon. That thing's about 12 to 15 inches deep with some really nice hydrilla grass. We were working that matrix crawl on the surface, but now that we're in the bayou, switch to a 3/8 ounce, get that bait down to the bottom. But you just want to pitch this lure when you find nice grass edges like that. Come right off the grass. You want to use good polarized sunglasses. We got the Matrix mirrors, that's what we're wearing today. There he is, nice bass. That's a good one. Nice little chunk. Well, yeah, you get you a nice pair of polarized sunglasses. These are the Manta Rays Matrix mirrors. And you better have glasses to be able to find grass edges like that. Without the glasses, you're going to be throwing into the grass the whole time. Because some of these banks, the grass comes way off the bank, and some it's right up tight to the bank, and you want to be able to throw it right down the middle. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode of DockSide TV. Catching trout, reds, and bass. For all the other episodes of DockSide TV, check them out at matrixshad.com. Till next time, good fishing. We're going to get some more.
Understand this love. I need to bless my flesh.